What if I told you that fear isn't the enemy you think it is? What if anxiety wasn't a curse but a misunderstood signal from within? Think about it. How much of your life have you spent running from fear, silencing anxiety, trying to fix yourself without ever understanding where those emotions come from? Today, we're not here to run away. We're here to face fear and anxiety, head-on, armed with the timeless wisdom of the Stoics. But before we go deeper, I want you to do something for yourself. Subscribe to this channel, Path to Peace, and like this video. Not because it helps me, but because this video might just give you the inner power you've been chasing for years. And if you stay till the end, you might walk away with a new weapon, a mental tool that could shift your love life, your career, and your confidence in a way you never expected. This isn't just theory. This is a guide for living better, calmer, freer. So let's begin. There was a young man named Marcus, not Marcus Aurelius, but someone like you and me. He lived in a world that constantly demanded more speed, more success, more perfection. And with every passing day, a silent storm brewed in his chest. He feared failure. He feared judgment. He feared not being good enough. Anxiety became a morning routine: coffee, emails, panic. At night, his thoughts wouldn't let him sleep. And then one day, scrolling mindlessly on his phone, he stumbled upon a quote. "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Seneca. It struck him, because in his case it was true. He hadn't failed, he had feared failure. He wasn't broken. He was overwhelmed by what-ifs that had never happened. That moment was the beginning. He began studying the Stoics, and through their teachings, he uncovered tools, mental, practical, powerful tools that helped him take control. And that's what we'll unpack now, the 5 essential Stoic tools to conquer fear and anxiety. Tool number 1, the Dichotomy of Control. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, taught this: some things are up to us and some are not. This simple idea saved Marcus from spiraling. Before, he'd panic about outcomes. Will I be accepted? Will I be liked? Will this relationship last? But now he began separating what he could control from what he couldn't. He could control his actions, his words, his mindset. He could not control others' opinions, the future, or fate. This tool became his filter. Every time anxiety crept in, he asked, "Is this within my control?" If yes, he acted. If no, he let it go. And for the first time, the weight began to lift. Tool number 2, voluntary discomfort, preparing for the worst. Seneca had another practice. He said, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare. And ask yourself, is this the condition I feared?" What's he saying? Face your fears before they face you. Marcus tried this. He stopped spending unnecessarily. He skipped luxury for simplicity. He practiced being okay with discomfort. And the result? Fear lost its grip, because when you've tasted the worst and survived, your brain stops exaggerating threats. Your anxiety shrinks. Voluntary discomfort is like a mental vaccine, giving you resilience before chaos hits. Tool number 3, Premeditatio Malorum. Most people avoid negative thoughts, but Stoics? They lean into them with purpose. Marcus Aurelius would often imagine what could go wrong, not to become pessimistic, but to be prepared. Begin each day by telling yourself, "Today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence." Marcus Aurelius. Marcus, our modern-day example, began doing this too. Before a big meeting, he'd ask, "What if it goes badly? What if I get rejected? What if I feel embarrassed?" And then he planned his response. Not his panic, his response. By visualizing the worst, he disarmed it. When you expect that life will sometimes be hard, you're no longer shocked when it is. That shock is often what turns worry into anxiety. But when you're ready, fear fades, because preparedness is power. Tool number 4, amor fati, loving your fate. Most of us try to escape pain, but the Stoics invite us to embrace it. Fate guides the willing, but drags the unwilling. Seneca. Amor fati means love of fate. Not just acceptance, but love for what happens, especially the hard parts. When Marcus lost his job in a company restructuring, the old him would have spiraled. But this time he said to himself, "This is for me, not against me." He leaned into the pain. He saw it as a path, not a punishment. And oddly enough, it opened him up to starting his own business, something he'd always feared before. What if anxiety is not a signal that something's wrong, but a message to grow? That's what amor fati teaches. To love the process, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. Tool number 5, the present moment. Live now, not later. Stoics remind us that the only time we truly possess is now. Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. It is time to realize that you have only this present moment. Marcus Aurelius. Fear lives in the future. Anxiety feeds on imagination. But presence silences them both. Marcus began practicing mindfulness not in a trendy, Instagram way, but in a Stoic way. He focused fully on what he was doing, washing dishes, writing an email, walking in the morning. He slowed down. And the future? It became quieter. When you live fully in the now, fear has nowhere to grow. Anxiety has no room to breathe. Because most of your pain isn't happening right now. It's happening in your thoughts about later. Marcus changed, not because life became easier, but because he became stronger. His thoughts stopped controlling him. His emotions stopped flooding him. Fear still came, but it didn't stay. And anxiety? It no longer ruled the room. He journaled. He practiced. He failed and returned to the Stoic path again and again. And over time, fear became a teacher. Anxiety became a reminder to return to the tools. Now here's the truth. You can let fear run your life. Or you can learn from it. You can let anxiety define your choices. Or you can equip yourself with Stoic tools and fight back calmly, courageously. The path is here. These 5 tools aren't just for monks or philosophers. They're for people like you. People who feel too much, think too much, and want to live better. So don't just listen, practice. Ask, is this within my control? Embrace discomfort. Visualize adversity. Love your fate. Live this moment. Start small. Start today. And if this resonated with you, help someone else by sharing this video. Leave a comment below and let me know. Which Stoic tool are you going to practice this week? Also, don't forget to subscribe to Path to Peace. We're building something real here. One soul, one mind, one tool at a time. Fear and anxiety may never disappear, but with Stoicism, they'll never control you again. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.